Till when Cristiano Ronaldo was asked to donate his cleats to a 10-month-old kid who had a brain disorder, he instead gave $83K to fully pay for the surgery the child would have. Till that for 14 years nobody on Sesame Street would believe Big Bird when he would try to tell them about Mr. Snuffleupagus. After an increase in child abuse cases, producers decided to make him real so children could see that adults will believe them when they have something important to say. Till that fireworks are totally illegal in Florida but are sold to ordinary people in huge quantities via hundreds of stores across the state to anyone who signs a waiver saying they're for agricultural use to scare birds away from crops. Till a man running an ultramarathon was joined by a stray dog for more than 77 miles, 125 kilometers, through the Gobi Desert, but he lost track of the dog after the race. With help from 20 volunteers, he finally found the dog after a 2-week search, named him Gobi, and brought him back to live in Edinburgh. Till a guy made $1 million by selling each pixel on a 1000x 1000 pixel web page for $1 a pixel. The $1 million homepage was created in 2005 to raise money for his university fees. The inventor went on to create a company today valued at $250 million. Till that Jamaica is the only country in the world whose flag does not contain the colors red, white or blue. Till Danny DeVito used to be a beautician. He went to New York to learn makeup, but the lady he sought after to teach him only accepted students from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. So he enrolled for a semester and that's how he got into acting. Till there was a campaign to rename the Australian dollar to todayilearned after an episode of The Simpsons. Supporters claimed it would increase demand for the currency. Till that Terry Pratchett's daughter, Rihanna Pratchett, is a video game writer responsible for stories like BioShock Infinite, Mirror's Edge, the new Tomb Raider series and Overlord. Till about the naming of Nintendo's character Kirby. In 1982, Universal sued Nintendo claiming Donkey Kong was illegally based on King Kong. Attorney John Kirby for it won the case for Nintendo, and they, in thanks for the help provided, named their, then, next character in honor to him. Till an astronomer traveled to India in 1760 to observe Venus. His ship blew off course, and he missed the date. He stayed in India for 8 years to try again, but the sky was too cloudy. When he returned home, he had been declared dead, his wife remarried, his estate plundered, and his job lost. Till in 2003 a computer worm called Welchia infected many computers to forcibly patch vulnerabilities and remove malware. It was regarded as a helpful worm. Till that Leonardo da Vinci once conducted an experiment to understand the flow of blood through the valves of the heart by pouring hot wax into one, making a mold of thin glass from the cast, and then pumping water mixed with seeds through it. He saw how a heart actually regulates itself. Till that Mississippi is the only state to allow drivers to drink alcohol while operating a motor vehicle. It is permitted as long as the driver's blood alcohol content stays below the state's legal limit of 0.08%. Till if ripening cherries are not dried after it rains, they will soak up the water, split, and can't be picked and sold. Helicopters slowly maneuver 5 feet over the trees. The intense rotor wash blasts the water off the cherries. This is part of the reason cherries are expensive. Till a 74-year-old woman lay dead for a decade in her apartment before someone found her body. She lived in Rotterdam, the Netherlands, and have died by natural causes. Since she was not officially dead, her pension would be paid every month, and the bills would be automatically paid. None noticed. Till that movie Dallas Buyers Club budget was so low, they had only $250 for the makeups. The film's artists were able to work with that, and the film's makeup and hairstyling won an Oscar. Till Seinfeld, Mad About You, and Friends all exist in the same universe. Kramer is subletting his apartment from Paul, Jamie appeared in an episode of Friends, and mistook Phoebe for Ursula. Ursula works as a waitress in Mad About You. Till Judge Doom's scheme to dismantle the streetcars in favor of freeways in Who Framed Roger Rabbit was based on a real-life conspiracy from General Motors. Till the town of Shitterton, England, kept getting its town sign stolen. In 2010, they finally solved the problem by installing a 1.6-ton concrete slab with the town name inscribed on it. Till Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak had to submit Tetris scores to Nintendo Power under fake names because he topped the charts for so long they stopped printing his scores. Till most elephants weigh less than the tongue of a blue whale. Till Steve Kemeiser sold solar-powered clothes dryer in national magazines for $49.95 each. Customers received a length of ordinary clothesline. Till Marie Skłodowska-Curie changed the world not once but twice. She founded the new science of radioactivity, even the word was invented by her, and her discoveries launched effective cures for cancer. She is the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and first person to win a second Nobel Prize. Till the man with a personalized license plate which read "no plate" received 2,500 overdue traffic tickets because they had all been issued to various cars with no plates, and when a car marked "no plate" appeared in the system, the algorithm automatically redirected those tickets to its owner. Till that every Rolls-Royce pinstripe is painted by a man who used to be an Old English village sign painter. It's the last manufacturing step and can't afford mistakes, as the paint instantly bonds with the car body and cannot be erased. Till the US federal government has an office that receives dead eagles, which are then used by Native Americans for religious purposes. Till that the War of the Worlds plot arose from H.G. Wells, wondering if Martians did to Britain what the British had done to the indigenous Tasmanians, which most modern scholars characterize as a genocide. Till that while touring in Australia, Frank Sinatra insulted the media, especially female media. The Stagehands Union refused to work his show until he apologized. Sinatra threatened to cancel his shows. The Transport Union refused to prepare his airplane for departure. Till that Pol Pot killed people who had glasses or if they spoke foreign language just because he thought they were smart. Till that Steve Irwin's father refused a state funeral for his son because, in the words of his son, he was an ordinary bloke. Till Hugh Jackman agreed to make a cameo in X-Men First Class on 2 conditions. Fox had to make a charitable contribution to his children's school, and he wanted to be the only one to curse at the main characters. The studio agreed to both terms. Till obsessive taking of selfies and posting to social media has been found to be linked to many symptoms common to mental disorders, to include narcissism, low self-esteem, loneliness, self-centeredness, and attention-seeking behaviors. Till the Bank of Canada once had to urge Canadian citizens to stop spocking their $5 bills. Till drooping ears is a trait for domesticated animals that doesn't occur in the wild, except elephants. Almost all species gain the trait when domesticated. One experiment successfully domesticated foxes over 40 generations, and by then their ears were drooping. Till there's a man who makes his living off scouring the streets and sidewalks of New York's Diamond District for mini diamonds that are dropped during transport. Till due to rumors that his film Cannibal Holocaust showed real deaths, director Ruggero Deodato was accused of murder. The charges were dropped after the 4 allegedly dead actors were interviewed for a television show, and Deodato explained his special effects in court. Till research has shown that when speaking, individuals who have been congenitally blind and have thus never seen anyone gesture nonetheless make hand motions just as frequently and in the same way as sighted people do. In fact, they will gesture even when conversing with another blind person. Till on average, supermarket apples are 9 to 12 months old when they reach the stores. Picked slightly unripe, apples are treated with 1-methylcyclopropene, waxed and boxed, then stacked and kept in cold storage. Till at age 89, philosopher Bertrand Russell was jailed for breach of peace for anti-nuclear demonstration. They offered to exempt him from jail if he pledged himself to good behavior, to which Russell replied, "No, I won't." Till that McDonald's sued Irish fast food chain Supermac for trademark infringement but failed and ended up losing their Big Mac trademark as well because they were unable to prove that they had used the Big Mac trademark in the EU. Till there is a Nigerian floating village of nearly 100,000 people that is self-sufficient and self-policing. There's electricity, hotels, schools, and restaurants fully independent of the mainland. Till that the term antisocial is very commonly misused and actually means to be violently against society and the rules imposed upon it, whereas the term for just being shut off introverted is asocial. Till about Drive Gisela Pearl, an inmate and female doctor at Auschwitz. She was instructed to tell Joseph Mengele of any pregnant women so that he could experiment on them. Instead, she tried to save as many lives as possible by terminating pregnancies and doing late-stage births without any drugs. The National School Lunch Act of 1946 was passed, in part, because of the number of draftees that were rejected during World War II due to being malnourished. David Carbine Williams, who helped invent the M1 carbine, was a convicted murderer and created innovative gun ideas while in jail. He was convicted of the shooting of a sheriff who busted his illegal moonshine still. He was released after his family argued his inventions could help America. That when Billie Holiday would perform strange fruit at gigs, the club owner would order the waiters to stop serving, and the room would be in complete darkness except for a single spotlight on her face. It would close her act and there would be no encore. About Brian, the mentally ill bonobo who was prescribed Paxil to help with his anxiety but taken off of it a few years later after he started sharing it amongst the other apes. That John F. Kennedy was on 12 different medications a day during his presidency just to enable him to face the day. That coconut farmers in Thailand train pig-tailed macaques to harvest their coconuts. A trained macaque can pick up to 1,600 coconuts a day, while a human can harvest around 100.